Cleveland Cavaliers, the top seed in the East. And still not ready to return from that sprained big toe on his.
They have some things they have to clean up on the offensive end. The three-point shooting that they have on this Miami Heat roster.
James Williams, Kevin Scott, JP DeRosa, and right off the bat, Jared Allen.
That's the difficulty that they're playing against time and time again, especially off of a Cavs make when they're able to set their defense.
Miami Heat, a 37-point loss in Game 3. Worst playoff defeat in their franchise history. As Sam Merrill, who's making his 5th start of the season, comes up with the steal on the baseline. So 2 possessions for the Heat, 2 takeaways for Cleveland. Donovan Mitchell, couple of fakes into the corner. Open look at the 3 for Mobley, an extension of his offensive evolution this season. Tyler Hero, transition 3, challenged by Merrill, and Hero bangs it in nonetheless.
And that's a great sign. They need Hero to be able to hit those pull-up jump shots. Again, the faster the pace the Miami Heat play with, the better their offensive fluidity has been.
Open look at a 3, that is Mitchell. Hard game in Game 3. They didn't need much from him offensively, and they still won by almost 40 points. 3rd Heat turnover. Mitchell off to the races. Inside, layup, no. And Davion Mitchell fighting Mobley.
But also, it was just the buy-in. I mean, you look at the end as he knocks down yet a 10 from 2s. We saw some tough finishes in the paint. I mean, he really is a versatile guard.
Tyler Hero, who took only 3 threes in Game 3. It was such a wacky game. Got so much out of hand. Already has fired up his 2nd early in this game. Mitchell trying to fend off Wiggins into the paint, into the corner for Merrill, 3-pointer, and he rattles it in.
And the luxury of having a superstar like Spida. You talk about somebody that draws 2. That's the whole goal in the NBA, is to draw 2 and make the defense be at a disadvantage. And that's when you get open catch and shoot 3s.
Kel'el Ware, rookie starter, misses on his first 3. 9 straight points for the Cavaliers. Cavs hitting more 3s per game than any team in the postseason, better than 18 per. Mitchell, the leader, offensive rebound. Allen drops, stepping it, lays it in. Just and so far, that thing is looking good. 10 straight points. Andrew Wiggins into the paint. Candace, can he get his offensive game going into the corner? Hero and Tyler Hero now, one of his first 3 from deep.
And the Heat getting 2 great looks on goal, but you see the shot clock was winding down. Only 1 second on the shot clock when they took that.
Good defensive rotations for the Heat. Ball finds its way to Mitchell, crosses over Hero, fires, and splash. Cleveland has hit 6 of its first 9 from the field.
You talk about somebody hot. Mitchell shooting 44% from downtown. It's a nice cut. You talk about just the pressure that Donovan Mitchell puts on your point of attack, where sometimes he's drawing 2. You see that 3 Heat jerseys around.
For at least 120 points in the first 3 games of a 7-game series. That's how high level they've been. Former Heat Max Strus blocked at the rim. Deep 3, Hero. Interesting shot, plenty of time on the clock. Highsmith, corner 3. And Miami just can't shoot straight at the start. They're 1 of 5 from 3 and 2 of 8 from the field. Donovan Mitchell in the corner. Davion Mitchell, best perimeter defender for Eric Spoelstra. 6 to shoot. Look at open floor. Just vicious.
Defender with the Heat for the slam.
Candace, how about this start for Cleveland? Business-like. They are playing like a 1 seed so far. Wiggins steps back. You know, you learn so much about a team in this kind of a situation. Do they put their foot on the throat of their opponent? Or do you allow Miami to build some confidence? And boy, what a start.
You see in Game 3, and that really sets the tone. Game 1, same thing. It was a little bit closer in Game 2, only a 1-point advantage for Cleveland, but they've won all of their first quarters, which gets them out to a great start and allows Hunter and Jerome to come in.
Get a breather. Hunter, magnificent in Game 3, 21 points. As Davion Mitchell misses from that high post area. Ty Jerome, who's been off the charts in this series, introducing himself to the NBA fans around the country who haven't seen much of this Cleveland team this season. Rare transition opportunity.
And that right there has got to be a score on a 3-on-1, essentially, fast break. The Heat have to look for opportunities to score early in the offense where they have the advantage. And their
defense packing the post to make these other guys try to beat them.
Hands. And with the physicality of a Cleveland defense, there's a lot of up-to-touch switches. Jimmy, but now the ball's in their hands. And with the physicality of a Cleveland defense, there's a lot of up-to-touch switches. And so they're not playing off of closeouts. They're not playing with the focal point being elsewhere. And it's taken some adjustments, but they've done just that.
Ty Jerome, step by, 40 to play, first quarter, just past the midway point.
But I'll tell you who has to be aggressive.
Beautiful little backdoor cut, Pelle Larsson.
Yes, Larsson, that cutting has really been effective against the Cavs defense. Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins has got to do a great job of putting pressure on the defense in that mid-post as Jerome has his way on that nice floater. But I think he could be unlocked in the mid-post, and he's got to be aggressive.
Can they stop this Cleveland defense? So lethal, so interchangeable as Hero misses on a three. They needed a monster game from Hero. He hit his first three, but he has cooled off since. Now 1 of 5 to start. High pass. Hunter and Hero.
Offense playing in Golden State all those years. I think that's where you can be dynamic, is the cutting off ball, but the Heat have to find ways to get the ball into the paint, whether it's driving, whether it's throwing it into the post up, just to get the Cavs
in the defense.
And we've seen some depth in this playoffs. We just finished covering OKC versus Memphis. We saw the depth in the OKC guards as Allen gets another steal. But when you talk about Cavs and their switchability, their physicality.
Season since they started tracking that statistic.
Well, they're shooting 40% from beyond the arc. It's just they're getting destroyed in the paint by a Cavs team that has been top of the league in both 2-point field goal and 3-point field goal percentage.
Corner three-pointer from Highsmith won't go. You saw the president of Cleveland there, Kobe Altman. And give him all kinds of credit, him and his staff, his GM Mike Yancey, the roster that they put together.
What Ty Jerome did, he gave them the confidence to be able to go and do that. To be able to go out and make a move to get a switchable 3-and-D guy that could come in and guard different positions and knock down the three.
Let's check in with Dennis.
Well, guys, you got to give Kobe Altman a lot of love because he didn't rest on his laurels. He had the best record in the NBA. You go out and get DeAndre Hunter. He sits down with Kenny Atkinson when he takes over and says, hey, how do we get Donovan Mitchell? What an alley-oop pass to Jared Allen. Now threw back to the panel. Can this team get to the finals and win the whole thing?
Well, 3D, the question has been, can they do it in the playoffs the way they operated in the regular season? And so far, the numbers are adding up. And it's not just from a historic effective field goal rate as...
With that being said, how do you keep that up for the rest of the game to stay focused knowing you have this big lead?
We try and advance, you know. We can't take no breaks, can't take no rest. Every quarter matters, and we just got to get the win.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, Dennis, great stuff. As DeAndre Hunter and this Cleveland defense can just limit.
Using your offense to impact your defense and vice versa. I mean, now Miami Heat elected to go a little zone to try to slow down the fluidity of this Cavs offense.
Well, Jovic got a fingertip on it on the three from...
Successful in pick and rolls, and so it's allowing other people, as Donovan Mitchell misses the three, it's causing other people to have to operate and serve as playmakers.
Nikola Jovic inserted. Eric Spoelstra looking for any kind of a mix of players. Andrew Wiggins off his first 4. Turn back, Mobley. That towering interior presence. The NBA's newly minted Defensive Player of the Year. Boy, exquisite pass. Hunter to...
Penetration to the paint, hang out in the dunker spot, and get a dunk. That was just great execution by the Cavs as Miami had to go back to man-to-man because they were in transition defense.
where you're just seeing a Heat team that is just being outmatched, outclassed. Mobley, 73% free throw shooter, hits on the first. Kansas, he still is first ever Cleveland Cavalier to win the Defensive Player of the Year award. First time. And the improvement in his offense, now legit offensive force. The teams can't just double Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland anymore.
Evan Mobley. And they did just that in the regular season. And because of that, they're better on the defensive end. And they're more of a threat on the offensive end as well.
What a season he had. Better than 18.5 points. As Hunter misses a perimeter jumper. Shot it at nearly 56% from the field. As Jovic fires from deep, short, rebound Wade. And Miami is now 2 of 15 from deep.
And 12 points off of those turnovers the Cavs had capitalized on.
Miami looking to push. Adebayo outside, Mitchell catch and shoot three, back iron, rebound by Strus. Made a name for himself here during his 3-year stint with the Heat. Mobley tapped out by Strus, kept alive to Mobley. Donovan Mitchell takes a little peek up at the shot clock, changed his mind into the corner. Merrill. And the Cavs come up empty. Larson, beautiful feed as he gets it underneath to Jovic.
And that's what the Heat have to do. Rebound, outlet, and run, because it is a challenge to play against the Cavs defense when it's set. And again, Mobley walks into a three. Has become a real threat from beyond the arc. The Cavs, the luxury, they have 8 players that shoot over the league average of 36% from 3. And Mobley takes note on that play.
Including Mobley, shot it better than 37% incredibly this season from deep.
Look at that closeout right there. Look at that closeout right there.
That's high-level defense from Dean Wade. Unbelievable, playing with a 30-point lead. And they're playing defense like they're down 30. Nice defensive play, recovery by Adebayo. Here comes Jovic, careening to the
Extra effort, the length that they play with.
Or visit the NBA app for the complete playoff schedule. So 49-21 Cleveland. Strus stripped underneath by Anderson. Hero to bounce. Mitchell couldn't finish. Now Jerome quickly the other way. Strus the bobble, so they're going to reset here as we cross the 8-minute mark before halftime. Cleveland Cavaliers, they've cooled off a little bit, still shooting it at a 52% clip. Strus finally gets one.
And all orchestrated by the cutting and moving of Strus off the ball. Flips it back, got a little flare screen. A nice catch and shoot three.
Cavs now 8 of 17 from 3. Highsmith from deep, no. Candace, it's tiring just watching Strus play off ball. My goodness, this never stops. Wade!
Lavender suit in the building, and they knew they had to give 3D a show.
Thank you, darling.
The lavender does make his eyes pop, doesn't it?
I'm telling you.
Sweet looking jacket. Here's Jovic playing off the corner against Jerome. Shot clock at 6, falls away. And the rebound corralled underneath by Jared Allen. Speaking of that three-point shooting for Cleveland, 6 different Cavs have hit a 3 in this first half already. Just an incredible number. And keep in mind, they're playing without Darius Garland in Kansas for a second straight game. Looks like we're going to get a traveling.
Jared Allen set the tone with 10, but the intangibles that you can't see.
Jovic catch and shoot. Long 2 rebound Allen. Miami is shooting 25% as they play in a 34-point hole here in game 4. Jerome, a couple of hard jab steps, taking Jovic down to the box. 6 to shoot. Strus deep in the corner. Tough contested 3. And it's left. So Hunter back in for Kenny Atkinson. Cleveland has to fire quickly. My goodness. They fouled Jerome. Look at today and make every playoff moment more. Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, but he said this guy.
Atkinson at the end of games can Jerome. I mean, we're not going to probably see those crunch time minutes in this game, but what a luxury to have the defensive lineup, the offensive lineup. I mean, can just play in so many different ways.
Finalist for the Sixth Man of the Year award, finished third in the final vote. Hunter, just silky smooth with that turnaround J. And look at that score, 39-point differential. Here comes Strus on the attack. Donovan Mitchell pushing up to Jovic to the rack and gets the friendly bounce.
And Jovic has done a great job.
So the Miami Heat, a couple of days after suffering their worst ever playoff defeat, 37-point differential in Game 3. This thing has not gotten any better so far here tonight.
And has Allen made one mistake on the evening? Has he made breakaway dunk off a steal?
It's just been sensational, overshadowed by all the other players on this team, but one of the heart and soul pieces for Kenny Atkinson. Narrow, high arching three. And it's a rare miss from deep.
Again, once again, Allen with the back tap.
Hunter left open and hits.
9, almost a double-double here midway through the second quarter.
You and Kenny on the same wavelength. He was thinking the exact same thing, how good Jared Allen has been the last couple of minutes. And really right from the start, Larson gets it to Jovic at the fire, shot clock winding down. And once again, the Heat come up.
Cavs getting a stance. Ball really isn't going north and south. The ball's going east-west, which is difficult within an offense. You need it to at least get near the paint to be able to cause some mismatches.
Ty Jerome, it is targeted that Miami has field goals 9. Donovan Mitchell misfires, and this thing has gotten ugly quickly. Final 3 minutes of the half. So you got that halftime intermission. If you're exposed, you just wonder from a psychological standpoint, can they put something together in the second half? What has transpired, Candace, in the last game plus? I mean, this has been unbelievable to watch. A Heat team that, you just think of the 10-game losing streak that they had that started in early March. Nice little floater for Bam.
In the city of Miami, want to see it regardless of the outcome here in this second half.
Last time Cleveland swept a playoff series 7 years ago, 2018, against the Toronto Raptors. First couple of minutes of the half, instrumental if they're going to make this interesting.
And that's not a great start.
No.
You got Donovan Mitchell. We understand first team, probably all NBA, going straight down the lane for a nice easy floater to start.
And the calling of the night. One of the very few sources of offense tonight for the Heat. Donovan Mitchell misfires. Miami Heat team that won 37 games this season. Ended the regular season as the 10 seed is ended. And that's been a part of the story here the last couple of games for the Heat. Just can't get Wiggins going. Mobley turns the corner. Here he comes. Long strides. My goodness. No one hoping to prove. We saw Oklahoma City sweep Memphis. And boy, it seems as though that's going to be the case for the Cleveland Cavaliers, as both of these young, rising teams trying to take that next step.
And I think the thing I've been so impressed as Donovan Mitchell jogs back down the court is, these playoffs in this first round are playing out similar to how it was in the regular season. Donovan Mitchell is accustomed to being on a team where he's had to do it all, where he's been able to do it all. And when you have the superpower of being able to do it, you think you have to do it night in and night out. Well, he's taken a step back. He's lowest average, 24 points per game since his rookie year. Lowest shot attempts as Merrill knocks down the three. Goodness.
We got a lot of second half left.
Okay.
Our crack stat team, big and deep.
Great job, guys.
Boy, we appreciate it.
Great job.
Keon Grissom, rest of our crew, getting us all these numbers during the NBA playoffs. Nikola Jovic puts it on the deck. Hero.
And the big three for Miami going cold. 5 of 24 for Wiggins, Adebayo, and Tyler Hero.
Donovan Mitchell probing. Here he comes, but it's a scary sight, taking flight. Donovan Mitchell now 28 years of age, 8th season. Candace, he's in the playoff league. He's never made it past the second round. So much talk about that. Some of the shortcomings, those teams in Utah. But it just feels like it's a career-defining moment in Mitchell's career. Best supporting cast he's ever had around him. And the only question left is how far this Cavaliers team can go. Mitchell contacts, little body bump. Here comes Mobley. And Adebayo had a little bit more time. He had 8 seconds on the shot clock. Head of the field, Wiggins, corner 3, that's good. .43-point game. Mitchell, no look underneath.
That dunker spot, Mitchell just splitting the defense. Overthrows Bam Adebayo. They just cannot get Bam going towards the basket off of short rolls. Just the activity and the length of the Cavs.
Look at Mitchell. My goodness. Just mesmerizing with his footwork. And he's got 19 for the Cavs. Andrew Wiggins maybe a little bit slow in the first half until late in that second quarter. Just think of what his role changed, Candace, after the Jimmy Butler trade that brought him here.
Did you see
Jared
that?
Allen.
Did you see that? Have your center and Jared Allen that's taking the middle of the defense one-on-one down the paint. I mean, it's just a luxury to have scoring ability as Bam gets to that nice turnaround jump shot that we're accustomed to seeing. But it's just the operation from different positions, the activity, and the versatility of this Cavs offense.
Mitchell. Have to wonder how much longer he'll play. Obviously,
Not much.
He had the ankle injury, missed the last 5 games of the regular season.
Not much, I'll tell you. Spoiler alert.
There's a ton of time left, but can't imagine he's going to be on the floor much longer. Adebayo.
Got to continue to take that and build confidence from beyond the arc. That just will unlock another part of his game.
Mobley steps back and rattles it in. An offensive performance that has been nearly flawless by the Cavaliers.
Well, we talk about 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Cavs are Miami's 2 steps forwards, and the Cavs are like, let's take 3 steps forward. Goodness.
Get very excited when you see those front court players playing at this kind of level. My goodness. What a performance by the Cleveland Cavaliers. And look, Candace, I don't think there's anyone surprised that Cleveland is ahead. Certainly no one expected it to happen this way. This is such a proud Miami team. Mention everything they've been through, the craziness of their season, the Jimmy Butler trade as Wiggins misses on a 3. You expected them to show some fight tonight after the worst playoff loss in their franchise history in Game 3. I don't think anyone expected this. It was Jerome, soft little touch.
And the thing about it was, closeout games are the hardest games usually, but you have to impose your will and set the tone. And Jared Allen, from the first possession, he was the quarterback on defense. He has 6 steals on the day. And then when you have Cavs offense that is fluid, flowing in open court off of your defense, it's just almost impossible to guard with the amount of weapons they have.
Andrew Wiggins, who's had a really tough time in this series, now has 12 points. Good movement. They find Hunter, 3-pointer short, and Jovic on the push. Here he comes, the Serbian national, and he's getting his staff, which have done such a masterful job. Still working hard on that Cleveland bench. The respect that Atkinson has for Spoelstra, and what this Heat organization has stood for over the years. 17th year for Eric Spoelstra as the head coach. The ball nearly caromed into the basket. Here comes Jerome as we hit the 4-minute mark. Jerome.
He doesn't lack confidence, but he also in effort and energy and putting the time in.
Look at how his Cleveland run started. Remember, he signed that multi-year deal prior to last year. Then the ankle injury just 2 games into the season last year. Missed the rest of the year after surgery. Bam Adebayo works quickly. One of the few times we've seen him kind of cap some space, Candace, in the paint. Jerome finds an opening. Splash! Candace, this has felt like a pickup game tonight. Pat Riley still in his usual seat here, just to our right off the floor. He has been stoic, stone-faced all night as Larson.
Now they'll have time to do that in the offseason. Obviously, Jimmy Butler trade was not planned.
Rare subpar outing for him in game 3. As this team continues to check it, as they try to put the finishing touches on the Miami Heat. Ball broken up. Javonte Green.
And Sparrow, there are no words with the intention and the mentality that this Cavs team is playing with top to bottom.
Kenny Atkinson has emptied his bench as we play opening minute of this 4th quarter. Craig Porter Jr., undrafted out of Wichita State, 2nd year in the league. Back to Porter into the corner. This is Okoro out of quarter 3.
And right there, right back up to 50%. 18th tray here in South Beach.
Cavaliers shooting at a 57% clip. Because it seems even better than that. Jovic.
And if there's if there's any bright spot in terms of who's come in and been able to get loose a little bit, 21 points.
How about Javonte? Jaime Jaquez. Guys falling out of the mix this season for
40, 50, it doesn't matter. You're a young player.
With both Boston and Chicago. If you haven't noticed yet, he's not a man who's going to shy away from the bright lights. Donovan Mitchell into the paint. Officials are going to get Porter Jr. Like we've been singing Cleveland's praise.
But we talk about another year where Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam, Miles Turner is doing a great job of mixing it up inside and out. And they've done a great job in this series on the defensive end, which has been a question mark in years past.
Robinson. Well, just think how prolific Duncan Robinson was as a 3-point shooter a couple of years ago. As Okoro misses, just hasn't been in the mix much. At that big contract extension. This is another rainbow 3. A team that was so desperate for some outside scores, any kind of scores.
Well, Duncan Robinson played a huge role in that 2023 run to the finals against the Denver Nuggets. But the difference is he had facilitators in Kyle Lowry and Jimmy Butler. And when you're a shooter, you're able to play off those guys and get open looks. You're not creating it for yourself.
Tristan Thompson, the KG vet. Okoro to move up to that 2nd round series potentially Saturday, maybe Sunday, if both of these series end by tomorrow.
And obviously the Bucks suffering a devastating loss to Dame Lillard. Wish him all the best. I know he's going to come back even better and stronger. He's built for it. But my heart goes out to Dame.
That was hard to watch last night. Had to be helped off the floor. all the physical ailments, just worked so hard to get himself back for that team. And obviously his body, his legs gave out from under him again. Second straight postseason that Lillard, of course, has gone down due to injury.
And missing all that time with the blood clot, rush back to try to make a difference for his team. So it was just tough to watch.
Tristan Thompson and the Cavaliers contingent behind their bench, making themselves heard. Donovan Mitchell over the corner. Hawkins from three. And the rebound tracked down by Okoro. Nice pass. Tyson ahead to Green.
11 points off the bench.
Duncan Robinson misses everything. And we're down to 7:20 left to play. Reminder coming up, game 4, Rockets and Golden State. Jimmy Butler expected to return for the Warriors. Candace, we will be in Houston for game 5 of that series Wednesday.
Wait for game 5.
That thing can't get here fast enough. Jaime Jaquez down to the box. Donovan Mitchell. Golden State, boy, what a gut check win for them. Without Jimmy Butler, seizing back the home court advantage of that series. And they're on the driver's seat tonight as we get an offensive whistle here for Miami. Just looking at some of these numbers on the box score. 58 bench points for Cleveland as Pelle Larsson's going to get himself to the free throw line. Percentage here in a decade, Candace, and exceeds. $123-70 as we come up on the midway point of this fourth quarter. Jalen Tyson, shot clock at 3. Open look at a 3, a little bit off target from Chuma Okeke as he gets his first touch. It's Kel'el Ware underneath. Wrapping up his rookie season, he took him with the 15th overall pick. He was actually the rookie of the month in the Eastern Conference in January. Good looking.
Miami Heat due to front court players in terms of their development. Kel'el Ware doing a great job getting better every single game this season for the Heat, and he could be a piece that we could be talking about in their step forward next year.
Really good alley-oop player. Just got to get some ball handlers for him to set him up with the skill set that he has. Nice little turnaround jumper there by Porter.
And not a bad looking stroke. He's got a potential to be able to stretch from beyond the arc from that lob threat position.
I think he'd be a good big man coach.
Versatile bigs only, okay?
All right.
3D in his lavender blazer. Porter Jr. knifing his way to the basket, and he goes glass. Craig Porter Jr. Here comes Larsson over the top of Okeke. Soft little bounce.
And I think all of us have been on the end of whether it's sweeps, whether it's ending the season in a blowout. It's a tough pill to swallow to go into the offseason and ending the season like this, but I think it is also as to do to improve. But it is never easy going into the offseason ending on this note.
Gonna make it an extra long summer for the Heat. Well, they fought so hard to get into the dance. Those 2 tough play-in games. Finally went to Atlanta, won the overtime game to earn the 8th seed. Here comes Larsson, clean strip. That does. We did the first game of the series was get healthy.
And I think this is one of those performances where even the numbers don't do justice for what we just witnessed in terms of, I mean, this isn't a misprint as Tristan Thompson.
Collegiate player at Oregon, guy was so beloved by so many players. Of course, Kevin Love, playing in the league for so long. So our heartfelt condolences, our love and prayers to Kevin and the family. We saw a really emotional embrace pregame between Tristan and Kevin Love, two guys who.
Steph Curry.
And we have been told that Jimmy Butler will indeed start in that game, so he is back. That scary fall, the pelvic contusion, as Golden State gets whole again. Here's Jaime Jaquez spinning, and he's going to shoot a couple of 5 to play. Bam has had his face buried in those towels, can barely bear to watch. And what has been an ugly couple of nights for this Heat franchise. 135-78. This is Jalen Tyson. And the rebound, Wade. Candace, it's going to get a lot tougher for Cleveland. We know that. This Heat team clearly outmatched. Likely Indiana's Ware unable to throw it down. Now, if you see
this regular season, it's always been about them. It's always been about the way that they play. And in a championship contending team, it's great to be able to control your own destiny with your purpose, intention, and continuing to play on the offensive and defensive end, no matter the opponent.
Pretty stroke by Tyson. Corner. And we are down to the final 90+ seconds here in Miami. Duncan Robinson trying to lead Johnson. It's a turnover. So the Cavaliers will fly home tonight to Cleveland. Get a couple of well-deserved days of rest as KK misses from deep. And they will quickly begin preparations for the Eastern Milwaukee. Johnson with the right-handed flush. By the way, I thought this was some of your best broadcasting work tonight.
Well, between my family and yours, that's probably who's tuned into this.
Oh my goodness, 48 seconds. Jaime Jaquez going glass. Knocked around. And Larson cans the 3. So Miami will be eliminated in the first round of the playoffs for a second straight year. Last year, of course, eliminated by the eventual champion Celtics. And now we'll see what kind of summer they have and figure out where this Heat franchise goes from here. A lot of questions that have to be answered, no doubt. We'll avoid the worst, but that'll be just about their only saving grace.